wanted to talk about the fear of not being liked. And this is something that I've struggled with for a really long time. I still struggle with it. There is a certain degree of wanting to impress people or please people or be liked by people that comes with being an extroverted person. So I've always been kind of like an extrovert cusp. Maybe we'll talk about the Myers-Briggs thing sometime, but anytime I do these kinds of tests, I always end up pretty 50-50 with introversion versus extroversion. But it does seem to me, maybe this isn't specific to extroverts, but I do feel like being an extrovert, being a sociable person, also comes with a certain amount of wanting to fit in with the pack, of being accepted, of wanting to, of just like craving people to like me and think fondly of me. Now, this is a good thing if you're wanting to have friends. Obviously, you don't want to be a total jerk, but when it comes to holding true to your values or being who you actually are, being a little bit more brave, then this fear really gets in the way. Because one thing that I've always had a pretty strong individualistic streak. So when I was younger, it was manifest in the way that I dressed, in the way that I expressed myself physically. I had this very strong teenager, like rebellious thing going for me. What teenager does, and I know a lot do. So that's not like a totally unique thing. But I've always felt that I have this ease in which to stand out. So I don't have to try that hard to kind of I don't know, it's not my default to blend in with people. I'm not a blender. But at the same time, when you stick out, when you're the weird kid, I think what comes with that is an intense desire to be liked, because it's not something that's necessarily coming by default socially. I haven't ever really been this person who, I don't even know. This is a fictional person, but I guess if I'm going back to high school, if we're talking about those kinds of memories, I wasn't cool. I was a weirdo. Like, I was a weird kid. I had friends. It wasn't like I was a total loner. I'm still a sociable person, but there was something about me that didn't fit with some of my peers. Maybe I wasn't super adept at sports, although I did play some sports. It's not like I was one of those art kids. I was physically active. I played baseball and stuff like that. Tennis, badminton. I wasn't super good at any of them, but I liked playing sports. So it wasn't just that. It wasn't just in the way that I dressed, because even before I started going wild with my ripped tights and my pink hair and all of that, there was still a degree of separateness. Perhaps some of it is in the way I communicate and express myself. I do have maybe like my style of speaking is a little bit strange, but there was just something. There was always some kind of separateness from me and my peers, particularly in high school. And then once I got older, I found my people. I found some of my people in high school too, but I found people who liked me in all of my weirdness, and even preferred me because I had that like weird quality. But since there was this lack of fitting in, it's sort of like having an outside perspective of something like, oh, that seems really cool to have that kind of like social status where people just like you by default. You don't have to prove yourself or do anything like that. So I feel like I spent a lot of my 20s, maybe even, just subconsciously wanting to be an appealing person to other people. And I made swaths of compromises along the way to my character. Even being, even allowing myself to be more conventional in my lifestyle. So, living in a small town and all of those things just didn't necessarily feel true to who I was. It felt like it was a role that I was playing. It felt like I was just being a dimmed version of myself to appeal to others, to appeal to my partner, to appeal to my friends and family, to be something that I thought that I should be in order to be likable. And I'm starting to realize now that I'm getting a little bit older how much of a detriment that mode of thinking is. Because being likable to everyone generally is, first of all, impossible. Second of all, it isn't. Oh, and I just realized now my dishwasher is running, so if you hear water noises in the background, I'm really sorry. I meant to turn that off before I started filming this. But I don't even know. I just got derailed by the dishwasher. But it's been a detriment because you can't please everyone. You can't be everyone's friend. You can't be liked by everyone. But in the process of trying to appeal to people who might not necessarily be cut from the same cloth as you, and by trying to adapt to other people who you think, whose love and appreciation you need, then yeah, you can compromise large chunks of yourself, shutting off aspects of your being. So one aspect of my being that I feel like really got turned off in the last, I don't know, a long time is this more creative, artistic quality that I possess that has been a part of my nature since I was a kid. So what I noticed is throughout a lot of my 20s, especially my late 20s, it's not that I disengaged from art or like any types of art, whether it be writing music, drawing, anything like that. Things that I used to really do all the time when I was younger. I started to disengage from that, but I also started disengaging from the identity of like Allysia the performer, or like Allysia the weirdo or whatever, which I kind of like perversely embraced when I was a teenager. I was like, y'all think I'm gonna be really weird, I'm gonna be really weird, and I just kind of like really owned that look, just is doing exactly what I wanted. I was like, I'd have like stupid hairstyles with like old lady hats. I had a big hat collection when I was younger. Nothing I wore matched. It was all thrift store. There was this freedom that I experienced that I really shut off. I was like, no, I should be more normal. I should be like a real adult. And that's one of the trappings too, the trapping of being a real adult, because you can be a functional, responsible, productive human being without becoming this idea of a real adult, which is someone who wears plain clothes. I like the sweater guys. Someone who follows all the rules. Someone who is demure and muted is, I guess, what I feel like I allowed myself to be and become. So I guess the thing that I want to convey in this video is that one of my journeys at the moment, at this juncture in time, is to reconnect with that ballsier version of my past self, the version who owned differentness and owned making other people unhappy. Not because I'm going out of my way to. I never will do that. It's not a part of my nature to offend people or piss people off or anything like that. I don't want to just become a disturber of the peace for no reason. But if the way I am, like who I am as a person, when I allow that person to be shown, be revealed, if that bothers people or makes people uncomfortable, or if people just don't like me because of that, then that's okay. Like, it's just getting to the place of that being okay, to not be liked by everyone. And if like I was talking about in the loosely held strong opinions video, if I have strong values and I stand by them, and I have opinions and I stand by them, even if they're flexible enough to change, if because I don't know anything really, like what do I know? My opinions are just something that I wear, and they can evolve, they can change. But I do have values, and I do want to be the kind of person. I remember once, I'm going to just wrap this up with a little story, because it's something that happened a really long time ago and really stuck with me. When I was a teenager, I remember being at a party with some friends, and as people do, just like dumb 18-year-old kids, and lots of adults do this too, someone was just kind of making racial comments in jest. They weren't cool, like it wasn't like what they were saying wasn't cool, but people can just say dumb things and I'm joking, right? And I didn't say anything, although I felt it. Like, I felt really uncomfortable with the way this person was talking. And someone in the room, a woman, she said, "Hey, that's really uncool that you're saying that. I don't want you, like, I'm gonna leave if you talk like that." And there was a moment of like kind of silence, and then the party carried on. And I just thought she was the coolest person, that she was willing to say that, something that was so socially uncomfortable. It's really difficult because then you're among your peers, especially at that age when you're so young and you just want that acceptance, that social acceptance. You want to be cool when you're that age, and any age really, to be able to say something like that, to be able to face the social discomfort. She probably wasn't the favorite person at the party, for saying something like that. But it stuck with me because it was like, man, she said something that I should have said. I should have been the kind of person who would say something, who would risk the social discomfort of saying that. And that's the kind of person that I want to be. And that's the kind of the way that I want to hold my values firmly, gently, but firmly, not deliberately trying to provoke ire, but firmly enough that where I stand is clear. So that's my own journey, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. I'd love, as always, to hear what you guys have to say in your comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.